everyone. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to take a look at this Pisces full moon that's happening on September 7th, 2025. Now, this will be a total lunar eclipse at 15 degrees and 22 minutes at 2:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This eclipse is marking our first eclipse of the season as we start feeling the effects of the Pisces energies. With full moons being a time of release, the eclipse energy will make it stick due to the North Node in Pisces. We are all wanting to elevate our subconscious to new inspirations or even just hope of a better, brighter future. But to do so, we will have to release the Virgo within us. The personality traits of feeling like we aren't good enough or capable to live our best life. This will require us to adjust our ways of thinking, a new perspective of how to live that best life will occur within the energies at play. So we're going to take a look at the chart. We'll have the moon conjunct the North Node in Pisces, and this will be reflecting upon some subconscious motivations. So let me circle that for you. Okay, so you understand where we're looking. Oh, goodness. And we also have the moon that will trine Jupiter in Cancer. And this will help you find the joy that you've been looking for. Also, the sun will be in opposition of the North Node and conjunct Mercury. Now, when it's conjunct Mercury, it's being mentally focused on what needs to be released. Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, and it's dealing with your mindset, the way that you communicate to yourself. It can also be the way that you receive communication. Okay, so you could be receiving communication upon the way that you are or the way that you do things, and this can impact you to release. Okay, so we have also the sun, which will be in opposition of the North Node and conjunct the South Node. Now I want you to take a good look at this, and it's almost like it is a finger of God here, or a yod. Some people call it a yod. But with the sun in opposition of the North Node, this is letting go of your past motivations so that you can create that brighter future. I'm going to go over all the signs. Please watch your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a full picture of how this is happening within your world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please comment so that the algorithm will show other people my videos, right? If you're interested in this chart, I do use Astro Matrix, the Astro Matrix app. I have a link within my playlist for Astro Matrix, or how to use the app. It is free. It does have ads. You can also purchase it without ads. They have different things on here of tarot guides, and also you can look at your daily horoscope. At the bottom it says daily. You also have your reports and other charts that you can initiate with, such as your draconic chart, your progress chart, different charts that you can go into to look at. I also want to tell you too that with Astro Matrix, you can click on either the aspects or positions, and you can click on each individual thing here. that I'm pointing to. You can click on each individual one, and it gives you a definition of what's going on with the aspects. It also shows you the symbol of the aspects so that you can get more of an idea. If you're new with astrology, you can get more of an idea of what they look like symbolically and how they interact with each other. Okay? All right, so I will see you soon. Hi, Taurus. I hope you're doing well today. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Please take time out to like, share, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. Also, you can hype the video. They have this new thing. Of course, YouTube has this new thing, but you can hype the video after, I think, three total hypes that you have to pay for hypes. I don't even understand. Anyway, so we're going to get into this total lunar eclipse, full moon in Pisces. Now, what I want to say first about Pisces being a full moon, you have the moon in the 11th house, and you also have the sun in the 5th, okay? So they're in opposition. When an opposition happens, this is where things need to be in total alignment, right? In this particular transit, we're going to have what we call a finger of God, or yod, or yod, whichever you prefer to use. And the apex is at the moon. Okay, so we're handling the moon. All right, so the 11th house is your hopes, dreams, and wishes, networks, clubs, groups, and affiliations, your community, friendships, older siblings. Now, when I say friendships, I mean acquaintances, people that aren't necessarily close to you, but you're socializing with, okay? Socializing is a thing in the 11th house, but it can be socializing in a big way, such as parties or get-togethers that have more than 3 people, okay? Technology is Aquarius, is the 11th house, all right? Now, with this ecliptic energy, I am releasing. There's a transformation, an ending that's happening within the 11th house of your groups, clubs, and affiliations. Now, you have already been through this, but this could also be one of those situations of enlightenment that happens because Pisces is activated. New knowledge coming to you on who you should associate with, or when you are placed upon an event that happens within the community or an event that happens within a socializing situation, that is when enlightenment, the divine, connects with you. Be open to receive. Be open to see things in a new perspective from another person's point of view. Okay? This is where, people are like, well, I don't get messages from the divine. This is where messages are coming in. Right? Oh, goodness. On a spiritual standpoint. Now, I do want to say, too, that there is 12th house affiliations with Pisces. So I'm going to go over Pisces. Spirituality and soul work, enlightenment, loss and grief is Pisces, mediumship, past lives, karma, healing and restoration. Prisons and hospitals are activated. Insane asylums are activated, okay? Letting go and going with faith, endings and transformations, like I said before, psychic and intuitive abilities, because the mystic is activated within you, right? Psychic and intuitive abilities, having visions, premonitions, all the clairs are activated within Pisces, okay? If you are a person of a healer at this time and you have a shop or you have some type of influencing social media situation, right? This is a time to where you're going to get hits. You're going to get better readings. You're going to get better visions, better clarity with the veil. Okay, so I'm just letting you know this in case you are a part of that. All right, and as it could be overwhelming. It could be to the point where, you know, you're like, God, I didn't want to see that, you know. I mean, that does happen, right? Okay. But it can happen. It can happen with this transit. Now, I also want to say foreign revenue and film and photography is activated. If you're into foreign revenue at this time, investments and things of foreign revenue, film and photography, a director of some sort, if you're into being an actor in some situation, or photography, this is a time to where things are going to change. Your visionary of your talents in those things are going to change. Okay, your subconscious is activated. All right. And with the subconscious activated, this is also a time that your soul is calling to you in a certain aspect of, I need you to stop suffering, right? That's the subconscious of Pisces. I need you to stop suffering within clubs, groups, and affiliations. Being on media, that means that you're going to have to use that other octave of this moon, which is Virgo, by placing boundaries in a practical way of what is ailing you to feel like you're suffering. Either that, or there's going to be some type of new perspective in regards to the suffering that you went through within clubs, groups, and affiliations, acquaintances, older siblings, right? Parties that you've attended, the technology that you're using, the social media that you're using. Now, hopes, dreams, and wishes, rewards, and gains is activated with that 11th house. And there could be something that comes out of this because we have Jupiter activated, and there could be some type of blessing that comes to you. So we're going to get further into the transits, all right? I want to look at the sun because this is where you're releasing. You're releasing what's in the 5th house with Virgo. Virgo has a way of wanting things as an expectation. Virgo has a way of giving too much to other people, servicing others, right? Is Virgo. Virgo is, I'm going to explain. Health, daily routines, daily work and employment, co-workers, pets, service to others, organizing, and detail orientation. They are also pessimistic. They are also criticizing. They are also, this is the lower octave of Virgo, right? They are also full of perfectionism to where their expectations have to be met, right? So with that said, this is a releasing of that. If it includes anything that deals with the 5th house that you're doing. So the 5th house is your love life, is hobbies, children. It is your talents, your genius, your motivation and optimism and hope, your celebrity, popularity, and recognition status, your pets, your dating life, your pleasure, okay? Your romantic life is here. Your friendships are here. All right. This could be that you're overcritical in regards to the talent that God has placed upon you. All right. And there's a releasing of that needs to happen. There could also be a transformation of you becoming popular in regards to the talent that you uphold. All right, that you're releasing that talent amongst the masses, which is the 11th house. And Pisces is the collective. And it's not in a way of, I'm just going to put this out there so that I can gain. This is more of a humanity thing or humility thing of you putting something out there of your talents and genius because it needs to be heard by the collective. This is a time to where you have to release that criticizing part of you that is holding you back from releasing that talent and genius. Does that make any sense? Now, with the sun here in the 5th house, the sun can be represented by some type of egoic situation. And when I say egoic, I mean it's the ego on the place of a survival mode. Okay? And this could be that a release of that survival that you have to have love, right? Has to be let go. That you need to realize that you gain that love through the 11th house, that they're showing you that love. Does that make any sense? That Pisces is unconditional love, and it doesn't matter which situation that you're in, you're going to understand that love is unconditional always. You are unconditional love. And to use that within your dating situations of maybe you're wanting the dating situation to be perfect. Maybe you're wanting, the alpha or whatever, right? I mean, you can only know your standards of dating. Not everyone is perfect. And this full moon in Pisces, the ecliptic energies are showing you that you have to let go of that criticizing standard. Does that make any sense? That no one is perfect. Okay? And there is a survival mode that comes with that. That you have to have things this, and this way in your love life, in your romantic situation, in your friendships even. And there's a releasing that has to come with that of letting go and going with faith, understanding that unconditional love is loving someone without conditions, right? Because I'm sure there was a point in your life to where someone had to love you without conditions, and to look at that in a different perspective, right? Okay, so I also want to say too that with the sun shining here and a releasing of the 11th house, that there could be letting go of the people that you had been connected with, because you had given them some type of chance over and over and over again. Or there could be just that transformation of enlightenment that happens to where you realize that letting go of them is not necessarily required, that you yourself can change the perspective that you have on the situation, therefore the situation changes. Okay? All right, so I do want to look at other things of the 5th house, because it is rewards and gains that are activated in the 11th, and the 5th house can be winnings of some sort. Celebrity and popularity and recognition can happen. Transformation and endings is happening within those rewards and gains. And this could be a time to where Virgo is activated, and it was because of the way that you loved someone. You're gaining something. Does that make any sense? That they're seeing you. It could be the friendships that you had with employment or co-workers, or during your daily routines or health situation, something that you were using. It could have been a talent and genius that you had within health that you were using. And this could be that transformation of that, right? Like, say, for example, that you were a massage therapist and you have that talent in that genius of being a massage therapist. And you may have not necessarily used it since you got the certificate to be one, right? And this could be a time to where you use that. That's the health situation coming out with Virgo, your talent, genius coming out with the 5th house, being released with the moon. Okay. Now, on an emotional standpoint, a new perspective surrounding friendships, a new perspective surrounding romance. This could be a time to where transformations happen with romantic life. And it really depends on how you want that to go, honestly, because you have free will and you can choose what you want. But depending on the person, this could be either way of you gaining love and some type of co-worker situation, some type of work situation, some type of while you are out and about doing things for your health, like say you're on a walk or you're exercising somewhere. This could be the initiation that happens with love, okay? But there is something going to be eclipsed out of the 11th house. And once you find love, you stop using dating apps, right? Once you find situations of romance or romantic life, it could be that you're disregarding the groups, clubs, and affiliations that you were in before, or this could be that you're moving. And I'm going to tell you why. We have the 3rd house activated with Cancer and Jupiter being activated here. This is creating the yod, okay? That romantic life that you have could be that transformation of you moving in with a lover, or it's going to the next level, okay? It could also be a situation of 3rd house is aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, nieces, nephews, and neighbors. And Jupiter is activated. So it's expansion, blessings, opportunities that they give you an opportunity to use that talent and genius in regards to whatever community they're in, an event that happens, a party that they're giving, right? In the 11th house. And that transforms everything for you, which eclipses the 11th of transformation of groups, clubs, and affiliations. You're going to gain a new network and leave the old network. Does that make any sense? So this could be that time to where joyful opportunities happen for you in the 3rd house, okay? Now, I'm going to go over the 3rd house so you know what it is. The environment you grew up in, your local environment is here. Communication, vehicles and laptops and gadgets of any sort, tools of any sort. It can also be advertising, right? It's also moving or movement. Like I said, you could move during this time because of something that's eclipsed in the 11th of networks, clubs, groups, affiliations, a perspective and enlightenment. It could be because of a religious group, okay, or a spirituality group or an occult group, right? Really depends on who you are. And the 5th house being activated with Virgo, it could be that is for work. That could be it. It could be a lifestyle change that's happening in the 5th of, you're having a baby, okay? You're becoming a mother. 3rd house, you're becoming a mother. So communication to Cancer. Cancer is mothers, right? Communication being the 3rd. This could be a situation that you're having to move maybe communities because you're planning on being a mom, or you get communication of being a mom, or you get communication from your lover that they're becoming a mom, right? And you're wanting to facilitate a whole new branch of network, which is the 11th house. And that could mean school districts. That could mean neighbors, right? Because the third house is affiliated with those things, of the environment you grew up in, the local environment that you're at. Also, I do want to say ideas and documents could be coming to you. Communication in some way, shape, or form could be coming to you. And it could deal with family. It could deal with fourth house entities. It could deal with property and home and family, nurturing, mothers, motherhood, mother figures, security, sense of belonging, your emotional body, and foundation. I said fourth house, but fourth house and Cancer are the same. Okay, so it could be that there's a situation of you gaining some type of new property because of family. You get some documentation that comes through from a family member. And it could be from a loss of a family member because we have Pisces activated. Okay, and Pisces is loss. This could also be a document coming through that is just a transformation coming through. Or communication from some type of work that you're having to move toward work, right? This could also be with Cancer activated. It's not just property and home. This is facilitating nurturing and sense of belonging and your emotional body being activated. With moons, all of that is activated anyways because the moon is the ruler over Cancer, okay? And that could be expanded during this time. It could be expanded to the point to where you get a new perspective in regards to a grief situation that you're going through, okay? That you are facilitating within that grief situation, connecting with a network that is going through the same thing, okay? This could also be if you are in the occult, spirituality, or anything of the mystic, that this is a time to where you are being noticed for being a healer, and not just on a simplified definition of being a healer. This is people seeing the divine coming out of you. Okay, that is the change that happens with the fifth house of you becoming popular, recognized, almost like a celebrity status, that people are noticing your worth. Does that make any sense? Of being a healer. And if you're not a healer, it could be a person that deals with health situations. If you are a person that is like in hospice, or if you are a person like I said earlier, massage therapist, anything in the medical field, anything in the health field, anything of a nurturing factor. Could be that you are a midwife, could be that you are a person that babysits somebody, right? Because Cancer is the mother and they're nurturing, okay? But you're getting noticed for your nurturing factor, okay? That could be it. There could be opportunities coming out of that for you with Jupiter activated in Cancer. Now, with Jupiter activated in Cancer, it deals with a lot of philosophical things too. Your mindset is the third house, and your mindset could be changing. I want to look at where it could be changing. Jupiter is the ruler over Sagittarius. And it could be changing, revolving around death. It could be changing, revolving around having children. It could be changing, revolving around your psyche, of course. The philosophy that you hold, the story that you hold within, surrounding your psyche. Dealing with family, dealing with just in general, because transformation is activated with the 8th. This is also where that indication of inheritance could happen, okay? Because opportunities with Jupiter, inheritance with the 8th house, and it could be that blessing that comes through some type of loss with Pisces, okay? Now, I do want to say the 8th house is also crisis, and it can be a situation of you understanding that maybe the crisis is actually something that is a growth for you. Does that make any sense? Of your perspective changing to align yourself with what you thought was a crisis, but is to facilitate growth within your soul, for you to move, or for you to be affiliated with a different type of network. Okay? Now, 8th house is also legal matters, divorces, other people's resources, debts and taxes, and government and grants. It can be loans, banking, or mortgage loans. This can also deal with love with the 8th house activated, with two soulmates merging together, okay? It can also be the deep bonding sex that maybe you've never experienced before, because with that philosophy activated and expansion with Jupiter, with Cancer, it could make you feel like that sense of belonging or emotional body is fulfilled, connecting or merging yourself with another person. And therefore, that is the transformation that happens with your whole mindset, your whole enlightenment that happens, right? Of love, of connecting with another. Okay? Now, it could also be the other way around. This could be the indication of expansion of this is what you wanted from another person, and it may or may not happen. Okay? And that's why Virgo is activated with that critical or over analytical thinking in the 5th house of love. That maybe you need to let that go so that you understand that love has to grow rather than an instant or instantaneous novel love, right? Those fairy tales that people associate themselves with of love. That love is actually a definition of the story that you have within yourself, expressed outwardly. That unconditional love has to follow any type of love that you initiate yourself with. And this could be a time to where your philosophy in regards to that is changing. That is more of a practical philosophy, because that's Virgo, practicality, of you letting go of that emotional body, of you letting go of that criticism in regards to whatever definition you had revolving around love. Okay? Now, I do want to say that the 8th house is also investments and long-term finances. Okay? And this could be a time to where it pays out, but it could be like something that you were growing. Does that make any sense? Because Cancer has a way of nurturing something, and it could be that you had been nurturing a situation of finances or chunky money of some sort, and that's where the payout had come from. It was a long-term finance that happened. Or this could be that you had been waiting on a grant or waiting on some type of chunky money to come in, and therefore it happens. Okay? And you're capable of taking some time out, letting go of the grind as much. Does that make any sense? Nurturing yourself on that emotional stance. 11th house being networking. This could also lead to another or different type of group and affiliation networking situation. There's a transformation happening in those things. So if you're into finance, this could be that time to where things are transforming for you. If you're in the esoteric knowledge, this is activated by the 8th house. And Sagittarius being activated, teachers, preachers, and gurus are there. And you could be transforming into one, or this could be a time to where you find one that transforms you. And therefore initiates that new networking in the 11th, or initiates that new transformation of groups, clubs, and affiliations you have. Gives you that enlightenment, right, of where you need to be, who you should be affiliated with, right? It gives you that enlightenment, almost like, because remember I said that this is a yod, okay? The finger of God is pointing to the 11th house, right? Stating that it's time for you to transform from the old and bring in the new, and understand that God, the universe, whatever you believe in, have your back, right? So the 8th house could come out like a transformation of those affiliations, or it could be a healing of fear. It could be some type of situation that had happened in regards to like a karma healing, because the 8th and the 3rd is activated, and you could find out how to heal karma. Or this could be a reading of sorts that you get. This could be a mediumship reading that changes things in regards to your perspective and revolving around death. This could be some type of situation of transformation of a long distance travel that could happen, that you're out and you're taking a vacation somewhere, and it's a new club, group, or affiliation, and you choose to move there, right? You choose to move wherever you're visiting, because Sagittarius is long distance travel. It can be one of those spiritual journeys that you're taking. It could be that you have this thing inside of you that you want to facilitate your own soul tribe, right? Regan Hillier did this, okay? She has, it's called The Nest in Costa Rica, and she facilitated her own soul tribe within Costa Rica that reaches out to other people to take their spiritual journey. Does that make any sense? That could be something that you've been thinking about. This could be with Sagittarius activated. It could be that you want to move abroad. This could be that transformation of you moving abroad. That maybe you visited abroad and you enjoyed it. You enjoyed the community. It was a different type of community. It was a community that actually understood you on an emotional level. And this could be that you're moving somewhere foreign. That's foreign to you, right? I'm seeing if there's anything else. Skills and learning abilities are activated. This could be that you learn how to do things financially, okay? And that facilitates that opportunity, that facilitates that blessing, almost like a divine download that could be happening that changes the 11th house of how you network, that changes the 11th house of groups, clubs, and affiliations, that you're having that mindset, and so you're relating to other people that have the same mindset. Does that make any sense? Of finances. And it may not just be finances. It could be anything that deals with 8th house facilitations, which is they have the same perspective as you in the hidden knowledge aspect, the taboo topics, or they have the same perspective in regards to psyche, in regards to how you think, okay? Because psyche is the 8th house. And it could be a belief system you have, being in Sagittarius. Now, in-laws and grandchildren and grandparents are activated with the 8th house also. So it may not just be aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, nieces, nephews, or neighbors that an inheritance can come through, or mothers, but it could be in-laws, grandchildren, or grandparents, because it's activated. I meant to tell you that earlier. I do apologize. The bigger picture is activated with Sagittarius. And this could also be a time to where you have this internal push of wanting to change your surroundings, because you are starting to see the bigger picture around you, okay? And that could be facilitated with maybe you need to move back to where you grew up, or maybe you need to move away from where you grew up. It really depends on the person, right? 3rd house is where you grew up and the local environment you're in. And the 8th house being activated, it could be further away, right? 8th house being further away with Sagittarius. So it really depends on what you want. This could also be you gaining a religion of some type, of you changing religious beliefs. This could be that you're facilitating yourself more so with, those people of religion, or those people of other cultures, or those people with the same belief system. I'm seeing if there's anything else here I can tell you. Now, something could happen in regards to a lifestyle change, a loss of a job. That could happen. I am putting that out there because it's for a reason. If you look at this, it's losses in Pisces of those groups, clubs, and affiliations that you have. And that could mean that it's a job because Virgo is activated, okay? If this happens, is to facilitate you to have a different type of mindset and use your skills and learning abilities in regards to some type of higher learning. And that could mean either you go to a 4-year college, you get a grant and go to a 4-year college, because 8th house is grants and college is Sagittarius. Or this could be facilitating the use of a certificate, or you gaining a certificate some way, some shape, somehow, of nurturing someone, right? Or that you gain a certificate of the medical field, anything of a nurturing aspect. Could be even like a breeder, right? It doesn't even matter. It could be anything cancer, or just facilitating your skills and learning abilities in regards to that certificate to push you forward into new clubs, groups, and affiliations that you have. Okay? I want to put that out there because at this time in the world, it's, a roller coaster of people been at jobs for 20 to 30 years and they've been losing them, right? And I've seen it with my own eyes of, things happening. But that is to facilitate something new to come in for you. Just to let you know that the divine has your back on a new perspective in regards to the work in your life and the work that you've been doing. Okay? I do want to talk about the North Node. The North Node is in Pisces, of course, in the 11th house. And the South Node is with the moon, with the sun. The sun is shining on the South Node. Letting go. Letting go of the way that you used to love. Letting go of the criticism, the pessimism, that you have with friendships, letting go of the way that you used to have fun, right? Letting go of situations of being overly critical in regards to you having fun, if that had been a thing. The North Node is what we desire, what our soul desires, okay? And the North Node being in the 11th house is that you're looking for somewhere that you belong when it comes to networks and clubs and affiliations, right? And this is to push you there with the eclipse energies. This is to show you that it's possible. This is to show you that God, Source, the universe has your back when it comes to networking with other people, finding your soul tribe, right? Having a new perspective in regards to the surroundings that you have so that you don't necessarily feel like you're suffering, okay? Now, the South Node with the moon is reflecting upon your subconscious motivations. This could be that the South Node is pointing to Virgo of, if these people aren't fun, or if these people aren't doing, what I do to have fun, then I'm not going to be around them. Okay, and this is a time to where that's going to be let go. This could be a new perspective on having fun. This could be a new perspective on how others love each other, right? So I just wanted to put that out there because the North Node is activated. If you haven't, again, watched those videos of the North Node in Pisces, please do so. They're in my playlist. If you need a medium or a reading, I have mediums on my playlist. I also give readings if that's something that you want. They're $200 a piece. You can email me at rdtvastrology@gmail.com, or you can just send me a comment within the comments, and I'll show you where to go. Okay, thank you, Taurus, for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.